There's going to be people on both sides of the fence for this one. You are either going to see the vision and you're going to love it, or you are going to absolutely hate this car. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Talon and I make new videos every week. If you're interested in the Toyota GRC, then consider clicking subscribe because this is like the third video on this platform and there's gonna be a lot more coming. I am here today at Lucid Wraps. Jake is over here. I left my car with him for a little while and it's already underway. You're already getting kind of a sneak peek of what's going on up here on the hood. I brought my TRD Pro Tacoma for a little bit of inspiration, and I think we're gonna wrap this project up over the next couple of days. I'll be here on and off filming the process, and it's going to start to undergo a little bit of changes. The first step for every vehicle when it comes to me modifying them, I like to get things protected. So I mentioned this in the video where I picked up this car at Quality Toyota. I ran through some things that I like, some things that I don't like. And I said that first it needs tint. So we're gonna be tinting the windows all the way around. That is actually something that you can now do straight through Lucid. So if you want some paint protection and a cool vinyl wrap, you can do that, but you can also opt for some PPF coverage for even more protection, and you can get window tint as well. We'll talk about that more once we get to that step. So we are, of course, completely wrapping this car like I always do. The paint is fresh from the factory, only 650 miles on it so far, and I'm trying to keep rock chips off of it. And I have some more protection. Right here I have some mud flaps from Rally Armor because, like I mentioned in the previous video of this car, it's going to be taken on dirt and gravel roads. The offset for the wheels that I chose are about 5 millimeters out further than the stock setup here. I'll give you guys information on that once we do like kind of a fitment video, but I'm gonna need some protection because although the car's wide, when you're sliding around and turning, there's gonna be rocks flying everywhere. So we're gonna get these installed. And also a departure from my previous car, all weather floor mats, because again, this thing's gonna be out in the wild and I want to keep the interior clean, so we're going to pop these in as well. I guess we'll just start with these and get right into it. Don't look at the car, don't look at the car. What's up?
What's up?
How's it been going?
It's good, man. Your camo I think this is my favorite car that your camo's going on.
I feel like we say that every time we wrap.
It just gets better and better.
And this one's gonna get even better because Jake is going to put a little extra like accent orange stuff into it.
You know, wrapping is so fun for me, but this is where I get to really make it one of a kind. Nobody will have it. It's just gonna be a little loud. I like loud. Obviously, if you wrap your car, you should make it loud.
We're going for loud on purpose with this one too.
Yes, so this is gonna be super fun.
I'll give you some behind the scenes in a little bit, but I don't wanna show it quite yet. So for the floor mats, I went with an OE option, which might confuse a lot of people, but there's a reason for it. You could get something with more coverage up the sides. There's a ton of aftermarket companies that make floor mats for a lot of different vehicles. I personally like these just because they are OE. They are branded with GR Corolla, and this isn't a truck, so it's not like I'm going to be dragging mud in here often. And I know for a fact that this will be a perfect fit for the car. Just like that. Nice and simple. Now the floor mat kit that I just picked up at Toyota, it includes the front two and a section for the rear. I haven't found any for the cargo area in the back yet, but I've seen them in other GR Corollas, so I'm not sure if Toyota just doesn't have those right now. Floor mats are kind of like a hot commodity, which is strange. Time for some Rally Armor mud flaps. The idea is to take this, facing logo backwards, put it right here inside the fender well, and that will keep rocks from flying down the side of this new wrap. Once it's complete, this is protecting the paint, this is protecting the wrap and the paint, so just like double dipping here on protection. Now the install of these is pretty straightforward. I went ahead and did the passenger side already just so I knew I was doing everything correctly. You need a couple tools. I have a 10 millimeter, an 11 millimeter, or 7/16. It helps if they are ratcheting wrenches. You could maybe get in there with a ratchet too. It would be a lot easier to do this whole process, especially the rear with the car up on a lift with the tires and wheels removed, but I'm impatient. I'm just gonna do it right now because I don't have a lift. So we're gonna start by removing some factory hardware here. They actually have really good directions, so it's not gonna be like a how-to install, but I'll bring you guys through the process. So 10 millimeter hardware we are taking off. 2 screws on the lower section of the fender here. We are not going to be reusing these. I'll keep them handy nearby though for the future. And then underneath, there's one kind of hidden right about here. And we will get that removed as well. Now for the fronts, there is a little bracket here to really brace the actual mud flap. They have a lot of plastic kind of spacer washers and then a nut. This is basically going to go right up inside there. Using a short screw, which will thread right into the factory opening. We're also gonna put a plastic spacer in between the plastic of the vehicle and this bracket. Let's get that hand tight, snug, no need to over tighten. Now we will take the appropriate mud flap, get this thing lined up, and we're going to use same fastener as before, as well as this little angle bracket here. This is going to give it a little bit more rigidity. Again, just going hand tight there. Now before we install the middle fastener, there are these little foam spacers that have adhesive on them. So if I pull this sticky off, that's actually gonna go on the middle hole here. And then a longer fastener will go through that foam. So now, since this is loose, you can get your alignment up, down, left, right. Basically, up and down, there's not a lot of play, but you can slide it in or out. I'm gonna have these things positioned basically as far out as possible without seeing the slotted piece of the mud flap. So just wanna make sure it's straight up and down. You can get other eyes on it. How's that look from back there? Pretty straight?
Good.
Get it all tightened up. And now, we have a mud flap installed. Time to move on to the rear. This one is going to be a lot more difficult if you cannot take your wheel and tire off, but I'm gonna show you guys how I did it. Similar tools, but a little extra here. We have little pry, trim piece removal, and this little fastener right here I already went and removed because this one was difficult. So I'll try to show you everything inside of here. First up, way in the back there, you can see the little silver piece right there. That is just a plastic nut. So that one's pretty easy to remove. And then up here where the bumper meets the fender, you have one of these Phillips heads that looks just like this, but it's on the inside of here. Trim tool like this, I pushed up and out, kind of like pulling the fastener out, and then very lightly with just my fingers was able to use just a Phillips bit like this in order to pull it out. I could get it the rest of the way with my fingers, and then it popped it out. We have some pretty standard just pop fasteners down here. You can just take a little flathead, pop it out just like that. Boop. There's also one more over here that you have to get out on the 25. This might be a little bit different on an older GR Corolla, but I found one that was actually not in the directions either. Back inside the fender now, behind this, there's another little pop fastener right there. And then I will also reach back there and remove that just by hand. So now for the tricky one. I thought that was all of them according to the directions, but there's actually one more of these little pop fasteners on the inside. And you can't really get to it in a good way, especially with the wheel and tire here. So what I did was I started to pull this out. This is held in with clips on the bumper here. So just be careful as you let those loose. Inside the fender here, probably not gonna focus, but you can probably see that little pop fastener right there. But if you can just peel the bumper back a little bit and get a flathead in here, I'm gonna have Jake help me here. There we go. So now everything is free and I can just kind of wiggle this piece down and around, just like that. We're gonna install some pieces on this now. So that's what that looks like when it's installed. And now we have one more bracket right here. This one requires a little piece of foam, so I'm gonna peel this off. And that's going to stick right in the middle of this bracket, giving it a little bit of space between the metal and the plastic. And now we've got one of these plastic fasteners here, which you crush down into shape in order to fit through the hole on this. Now with a smaller diameter screw, I'm gonna start this by hand, and this thing is going to want to spin around because it's biting into the plastic, obviously. And as it pushes itself through, it's going to start to expand a little bit. The screw's gonna bite down here a little bit lower. And then once it's fully tightened, it'll be nice and secure like that, just like a drywall anchor. So now all of our hardware is installed and we can get this thing back onto the car. Now the final step is to get this installed. Logo to the back. This lines up pretty perfectly across all these studs that we just installed. We'll get everything lined up, tighten down, and that will be complete. Now this is a point where I would show you guys the finished product, but we're not finished with the paint protection, the wrap. So I'll show you guys a completed project once we get everything done. So enjoy this wrap sequence. All right guys, we're back, blocking the car so you can't see the completed finished thing yet, but Jake took this one to the next level once again. We always try to go a little bit crazier each time, and the GR Corolla was the perfect platform to do it because rally car.
The rally car platform is really cool to just have so much fun with it. With vinyl, the possibilities are endless.
And it's like clearly over the top for a reason though. I mean, it is like,
it's loud.
It's rally inspired. We put some things on it that I typically wouldn't want on a car, but we decided to go loud and got super creative. Jake did a lot of hand cut stuff. So
yeah, one-offs. You won't find any of this anywhere. It's definitely your style though.
It's fitting for sure. Let's take a look at it. Just when you think it can't get better, like you wrap the Supra, dope. You wrap the Tacoma, even more so. Keep one-upping yourself.
The livery.
It's pretty much a rally livery. And I know it's like, oh, you made it look like a race car, and it's not a race car. Not yet. This is like stage one. You guys got to remember that. So I guess before we get into the wrap, rally armor mud flap install. That was a nice touch. And then all of the other paint protection. That's the main reason for this entire wrap. I'm actually on a time crunch. I gotta leave town, so we didn't get to the window tint and the PPF on the roof yet, but the next time you see this car, it will finally have tint and it will be completely protected.
Yeah.
On top of that too, I reached out to my friends at Adams Polishes and I did an advanced coating of their ceramic all over this thing, so it is completely protected. They are a local Colorado company and this stuff right here is absolute magic. So when this car does get on dirt, I can just take it to a pay and spray and keep the wrap all nice and fresh. So
it works.
if you guys are interested in how to ceramic coat, I actually learned from them. I'll leave a link to that video if you want to check it out. Now let's wrap. What's your favorite part? Because there is so damn much going on here.
It's insane how this makes the whole car. Right?
Yeah.
Like you see rally cars, you see the driver's name, their number, all that stuff. I really like this, and I know that's not even part of the wrap. There's so much that I do like. It was so bubbly, and trying to make all these lines line up and match up everything was definitely a challenge, but challenge accepted.
Accepted and absolutely crushed.
Yeah.
So when coming up for the design with this, we actually were like looking at a bunch of different rally car liveries, and they always, of course, have a driver number and the name. So we got the name kind of custom cut out in reflective material. So I'm not sure how well this will show on camera right now, but it's so hard to tell. But when headlights hit this at night, including the American flag, it all kind of lights up. So that's pretty cool. 7 is my number for a reason that I haven't really talked about on the channel, but yeah, that means a lot to me. And Jake's right, like it looks crazy as it is, but then adding that little detail just goes a really long way.
All of your vehicles have the orange drip coming out of the gas cap.
And that was your idea like a while ago. I think on my 3rd gen Tundra.
Just a little touch.
Or the Tacoma.
So we've always done this, and now I was like, you know what? You know, rally it out. All the functioning vents, let's have orange drip coming out of them. Did a little bit with the mirrors too, the hood vents. It just ties it all together. It's even. Messed around with the spoiler and decided to just
Wait, pop that hatch so people can actually see what it looks like. We didn't even really think about this, but when you grab something out of the back, it looks so cool.
It ties in, obviously drone footage, you know, when you're rallying on those dirt roads, you can see your logo from high up.
And like Jake said, all of the vents around this thing are functional. So we're adding accents to actual like functional pieces of the car. Again, it started with his idea doing that, and then it went everywhere else too. The kind of shark gills here, which suck out engine heat. A little drip on the mirror that is dripping off of the Psy logo and the camo. Big splatter drips over the hood vents, and almost 100 tiny little triangles here. This is the only part of the car I wrapped. While Jake was doing the actual work, I sat here and laid every single one of the triangles on this grill. I don't know if it shows on camera, but they kind of like move like an optical illusion. So there you can see the right side, and then you can see all of them, and then the left side. He also did all of the GR logos. We left those in place. A little bit of protection on the lower lip there. It looks so good.
It looks so good. It was fun, super fun.
Next up, wheels.
Yeah.
Which is going to put this way over the top.
That's gonna make the car. Like you think a wrap makes a car. Wheels lift the tires, all that stuff. Wheels definitely make a car.
And I haven't even shown or told people what they are yet. It's gonna be wild.
Is that in the next video?
It might be. I don't know when the next video is gonna be, but hopefully soon. So that's it. Jake did it. I didn't do any of this. I ceramic coated and stuck little triangles on and told you what to do. And told you what I wanted.
You cracked the whip and
You delivered.
I did it.
Huge thanks to Jake for getting that done. If you guys need any vehicle vinyl wrap or anything creative like that, he really loves the creative stuff, as you can see.
I'll do it all. I'll wrap it all, commercial, personal, custom, all that stuff. Letting me be creative with any of the vehicles and letting my ideas flow, bouncing off of your ideas, that's my favorite thing with vehicle wraps. So but I'll wrap it all.
That's what I love too. I can spend time here because we're homies, and I'm like, what if we do that? And then you're like,
Yeah.
what if we do this?
And yeah, and then we'll cut it and be like, no, it's wrong size, or make this bigger, wider.
This was a long process, and we went back and forth with
Yeah.
ideas all the time, but that's what makes it so fun.
It is fun.
Also, if you want any ceramic coating too from Adams, I'll leave my discount code down below if you want to pick some up, or you can get it when you get your vehicle wrap. Jay can provide the hard coating or the spray-on coating, whatever you guys need. And this thing is almost ready for the next stage. I can't wait.
I can't wait to see it on the next stage.
I can't wait to see it on dirt at this
Yeah.
point. Like, it is so clean. The car will not be
Never
as clean.
be as clean, yeah.
No, never. But it'll be fully protected. It is fully protected.
It is protected, yep.
And now I can rag on it a little bit.
Yeah, beat it up.
I still need to break it in, honestly.
Yeah.
Probably only has 700 miles on it right
Yeah.
now. Factory paint underneath. That's good for resale value.
Yep.
Well, cool. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, consider clicking subscribe. I make new videos every week, and stay tuned for the next stage of the rally car build. All right, later.